that's a lot of exposure to losses, both in terms of data and delayed in deals or projects, but also in intellectual property. How do you go about making sure that all that IP does stay yours? All the information that's being created on your work by your workers is your business, is owned by the business. So you got to make sure you do that. We even have a very large marketing firm here in the U.S. who had a laptop fleet of about 800 users, and after about 6 months of evaluating, they found that our system was the best to put out across all of their users, across almost as many networks as there are users, because they were working from home or just traveling a lot. So it's really important that we make sure that we're covering all the aspects here. Then down to 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, we have file data. So your file servers. This is something that we've always specialized in, and it uses the same program as we had before. And a lot of recoveries are at a file and folder level. The most common ones are actually at that level. And we always used to recommend that our partners go to somebody like Zenith or Acronis or Backup Assist and use those programs to back up the system data. And then you could use our service, being a secure and easy-to-use cloud service, to back up those images off-site. Well, with ServerSave, we no longer have to do that. We've brought on our own image-based backup system. So now you can back up your SQL servers, your Exchange, SharePoint. You just select the volume that you want to create an image of, create the volume, put a schedule on it, and we have a terrific new continuous incremental technology that really makes the management of your drives on site very simple. And then we have Image Stream that we've created, which is specifically designed to handle large file backup online. So that's been the limitation of the market when it comes to having an online aspect of everything, which was really just handling that amount of data and getting it off-site. We don't require any expensive hardware like Zenith does with their quote-unquote BDR solution. You just get any kind of black box and put it there, and you're good to go off-site with it. Now specifically, here's a good box, and for those of you who are interested in getting this slide deck, we have a couple questions about that. If you go to managedonlinebackup.com, not only do we have links there with this program deck available, but there's also a recorded training link that you can look at as well. So if you really want to get a deep dive into the system, there's a advanced training that we run every week. Sometimes Tuesdays, sometimes Wednesdays, but there's a training there. It's about 2 hours long, and it's just a deep dive into the back end of administering the system, going through the web integration package, which is mentioned down here, which I'll show you in a minute, and then also getting into the software itself. So it's best practices, level 1 tech support training, quite thorough. We host it weekly for our partners, among other webinars. So you do get regular live contact with us as your vendor. So it's really nice. And not only that, but with that live contact, you only need one vendor versus having maybe a solution through, you do your image backup through Zenith, and then you do online backup with us. Now you can just come to us for all of it. And again, there's no $2,000 out the door hardware you got to buy with us. So feature by feature, what are you getting in the program? Exchange backup and granular recovery. A lot of services out there charge for additional modules. How much do you all pay for the Exchange module for whatever service you're currently using? Wayne has a good question. Do you work with Backup Exec or propose to replace it? We replace it. David says he's paying $800 a year for just the Exchange module, right? Not for just the image creation. Terrific. And with that $800, do you get granular recovery, or is it just a full mailbox recovery? Just the full granular. Okay, so a lot of people are including that now, but still, we don't have a ServerSave license that is, okay, you can create images and recover images, but if you want to actually do a granular recovery of that stuff, then you need this module for another, $1,000 a year or $2,000 a year. You have some people using ArcServe. If you all could just type in the companies you're using and what you're typically spending on an environment, let's just say 200 gigs and a SQL server and an Exchange server on the same, or volumes on the same physical machine. How much would that cost you typically with your environment? So yeah, because some people coming in about 1,000. One guy said he's got to add up all the agents, one for Exchange, one for SQL, one for Windows, etc. Yeah, and backup exec is about $1,000 per year. So we're not looking to do that for anyone. I mean, the entry program we have right now is $399 per month, and that gets you a terabyte of cloud space, which you can spread across as many machines as you want. You don't need a per license just to back up file and folder data offsite. And it also includes 5 ServerSave licenses, which are used per physical machine. VMs are treated as physical machines as well. But with the ServerSave license, you get both the Exchange backup and granular recovery, as this top is mentioned, as well as the ability to create and recover images. So bare metal image creator, which you would install on the specific server you want to back up, and then image stream, you don't need a license for it. It just runs and takes files off-site. It's just specifically designed to handle the large images that come out of image creator, which we do have compression on, and we'll see that in a minute. It also comes with Pulse centralized management. So this is a separate agent-based monitoring tool. So some of you mentioned that you're using some monitoring programs. I saw Kaseya, which I believe they're breaking into kind of a network monitoring, but it's still mostly like a ticketing system. Correct me if that change has already taken place. Anyone using like Spiceworks or IT Control Suite or Shocky Monkey, which is a new upcoming one, and I just like to say the name. Level platforms. Wayne used to use Spiceworks. David's using Spiceworks or looking at it. Dave, you're really using Shocky Monkey? Awesome. Do you like it? So for those of you getting into the partner program and looking to come on board, we're looking to start a large slew of integration into various systems. So there'll be some modules for services like Spiceworks, Shocky Monkey, ConnectWise, those sorts of things. Yeah, Warren, you got me pegged right there. That's good. I think I was thinking of ConnectWise. Yeah, Georgette, you got it correct. Shocky Monkey, but with an EY. Take a look. It's a new upcoming service. You guys should. It looks good. Anyway, so Pulse, it does a lot of monitoring like that, but specifically for our program. So it does pull some temporary data that's created by the backups that are running. So you get 2 levels of reporting with Pulse. It's an event level monitoring that just tells you a backup ran with errors, a policy applied, policy being a backup set and schedule, policy applied with errors, policy didn't apply, and they're more high level types of reports. And then there's another layer underneath that, which is the backup session details. With backup session details, you get information like numbers of files backed up, number of files not backed up, number of files not changed, which means they didn't need to be touched. And then you actually can go into details, and you can either get an excerpt of the log for the backup that ran, or you can download the entire log file. So it helps with some information. Also gives you a lot of the machine information. So when you're working with our support staff, it's really terrific because Pulse is going to have all the operating system and the version information available right for you, or immediately available for you. You don't have to go look it up. Just in the Pulse management service, you would just see, okay, this is the environment, this is the log file, support please help me. And once you get on board, and you start getting familiar and reading our logs, which are being made simpler and simpler to read, and we'll be having different white papers out there, we can go about it. Wayne says, too many small customers can't justify the cost of expensive monitoring tools. Huge problem as a managed service provider, right? You got small customers where you just can't pay for it. Thankfully, Spiceworks is completely free. Have you found a new freeware? I know IT Control Suite's coming out with a freeware, but I don't know if it's available yet. But you can't really enter the managed service market unless you have a monitoring tool in place. It's just kind of a default part of the program. You need to have that. You need to have that in there. So then with we separate online backup and recovery here. Online backup and recovery is a separate agent of image stream, but essentially they have the same role to get files off-site securely and also to recover those files securely. The online backup and recovery agent is really nice and more specifically geared towards workstation and laptop backup. So you install this, you let it run every hour on a workstation laptop, and it works beautifully, and it's a good way to really cover the extremities of your network. So that's a really good way to go about it. The Premier Web Integration Package. This is a very unique package that we're offering to our partners. Basically, what we were looking at about a year ago when we first came up with this product was giving our APIs to partners typically meant the partner was going to spend somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000 on development over the course of 2 to 3 months. So, take the lost business over those 2 to 3 months of setup, sometimes 6 months, and you get an expensive jump to market. So the whole idea behind the Premier Web Integration Package was, let's put all the API integration needs that a lot of people are looking for into something that we can just roll out. So when you come to the program, a typical turnaround at this point is about 14 days or so, and you get a Premier Web Integration Package, which includes integration into various merchant systems, including Authorize.net and PayPal Pro and PayPal Standard. So you just plug in your credentials from one of those merchant systems, and then you're ready to start accepting money for people buying from you on the web. So if that's not a primary mode of business for you now, think of the extra revenue you could generate with some leave behinds in an office. You get, how many times do office users ask you, oh, that's a great backup program. Will that work for me at home? Sure. Here's a leave behind. Go to this website. Here's a coupon code. You get a 15% discount for, checking out Geico, whatever it is. So it's a really nice way to generate some extra revenue and also really kind of tie in your package together and get to the market sooner than later. We have the mobile clients, which we had a couple mobile questions earlier. The iPhone client is available for SOS right now, but for those of you who have a 4S and the latest iOS, you know that maybe you have some issues backing up images. So we're rewriting the backup agent for that, and then once we have that done, we're going to be releasing a generic version of the iPhone app for all of our partners. Unfortunately, Apple doesn't let us submit these applications under DBAs, so the developer name will be SOS Technologies, but it'll be all a generic application. Again, not a big deal overall, and even less, and not an issue at all if you do a co-brand with us, so powered by SOS. Android application, same schedule. We're looking at the end of this quarter to have both applications out and available at a generic brand. All right, got a couple questions from Matt. Can you get email alerts, or do you need to view through Web Console? If only Web Console, can you see all clients through one single pane, or need to log in for each one? Well, there's a lot of information. It's designed so that you just log in for each one, and our management service is really being developed as we speak. So actually, the Pulse management agent that we have today is going to look completely different in just a couple of months. So the monitoring is going to be very nice. Right now, it gives you the information you need, but there are some points where you got to dig down per account to see more detailed information. But you can see backup history. You can see details per backup machine. You can also see if a backup ran, if it ran with errors, so it gives you that information. There are email alerts with every system, but you have to set up the email alert on each machine that you're installing the backup. So you go in, part of the wizard, and enter your email address so that it sends you an email for that. Most of our partners today use both. They have an email address specifically designed with a filter so they can count, okay, I got so many email alerts today, so that's good. And they also use Pulse to just kind of take a look at what's going on. Wayne asked, what about BlackBerry? BlackBerry it's going to happen probably. Right now it's not a priority, mainly due to the whole RIM dying thing, but we are going to have a BlackBerry application, but there's no ETA set. Right, so the alert right now is only through the long live RIM. Yeah, well, they'll bounce back. They'll once they give up trying to write their own operating system, I'm sure they'll be great. Was that a low blow to rib? I didn't mean it. That is not sponsored by SOS. Okay, so let's move along. So we have this guide, and again, you can download this by going to managedonlinebackup.com, and I'll type in the link. Managedonlinebackup.com is our faux partner setup. So if you go sign up for an account there, I'm just going to cancel it, but you can go through and sign up if you like. But the top section here shows what we're separating as a version 4 versus a version 5 technology. Version 4 references just the file and folder backup, hence Carbonite and Mozy being on this list. So we've been boasted above, thanks for the alert, Burke. We've been boasted above Carbonite and Mozy since version 1 beta, and that hasn't changed. We've been awarded the PCMag Editor's Choice Award 4 years in a row, and that's not one of those pay for your award situations like backupreviews.com, where it's just about how many ads you're going to buy from them. That's a serious rundown and beatdown of our software, so we're very proud of that. We've been compared in PCMag over the years to HP Upline, who's no longer around, Iron Mountain's online backup, which I believe has been sold off to somebody else now. They've discontinued that as far as the Iron Mountain deal. Carbonite, Mozy, iDrive, Elephant Drive, Norton, you name it, they've compared us against it. The version 5 technology includes ServerSave. So it goes down to image-based backup, image-based image-based recovery, those sorts of items. Dan asks, can you give a comparison to Intronis? Intronis and Intronis are pretty evenly stacked. We're a lot more affordable and give you the same functionality. And in my humblest opinion, our partner program is way more awesome. We give you a lot more than what you get from the Intronis partner program. So when you talk about the ServerSave program, we're no longer playing in the same sandbox as Carbonite and Mozy. As you can see, they don't really have anything to hold against the new technology. So we jump into a whole nother playground. Now we went from the first grader sandbox to the second grader sandbox, and now we're competing against these older, really hardware-based systems. So most of these systems have been around before cloud backup was really possible, let alone viable. So Zenith, $2,000 for a box, and they call it a business disaster, whatever it is. Whatever you consider a business disaster solution that is only one single strategy in backup. But we don't have, again, those hardware setup fees. You just use whatever you like. We're a software company. Intronis, again, really the thing is they're a lot more expensive for what we're providing, and we're pretty much providing the same thing. And our cloud backup solution is a lot better. We have a lot of partners who came from Zenith and needed a good backup solution off-site, a good online backup solution, so they use us and Zenith together. But now with the addition of ServerSave, you can replace that Zenith strategy. No more $2,000 wholesale box. Just think about it in terms of that. How much money could you save if you didn't have to buy that box every time you wanted to set someone up with a backup for image-based recovery? Okay, I got some questions here. Oh, all right, Burke says, the HTTPS without the www for managedonlinebackup.com works great. So, yeah, I just switched the DNS on that, so we probably got to reinstall the SSL. Dan asked, you talked about all mobile except Windows Phone. Is there any plan to support it? Dan, our goal is to get you to end-to-end solution, so it's definitely there. Kind of like formal support for 2011 server. As soon as we get there, we're going to be there. When we don't, it's of course in our roadmap. It would be a silly thing not to have that in there. Donna asked, do you have an affiliate program as well as a partner program? I'd like to promote your solutions. Really not sure about our affiliate program, and forgive me, but when you call into our partner specialists, they'll be able to make sure that you get into anything. So at the end of this presentation, I'll give out a Kindle code, and you can give that to the partner specialist. They'll take down your contact information, and you'll be put into a drawing for a Kindle. When you do that, you can talk to them specifically about what you'd like to do, what you'd like to get out of the program, and what we can provide you. So, their goal is to really just make sure that the program is going to fit your business needs. We're not trying to misplace anyone into our program if it just doesn't work for them. So, give them a call, and they're going to go through the whole thing and see what they can do for you. Okay, so November 1, we got another award. It was our last award from PC Mag.